Quiet quitting is probably the most dreaded term by all employers and bosses. It refers to the person's choice to be disengaged with any work-related concerns before or after work hours. It has been popularized recently with employees that are just at a job for the paycheck and are just doing the bare minimum, and not going above and beyond. But how about quiet quitting in a relationship? Is there such a thing? For today's video, let's talk about how to tell if your partner is quietly quitting your relationship. In Genesis 1 verse 28, when God had given the mandate of creation to Adam and Eve saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth," the whole of humanity took it to heart. From a young age, we tend to do our best to seek love from our parents and siblings and later on expanding it to the family which we are about to procreate. One way or another, it usually starts when two individuals realize that they have fallen in love and act upon it with a gusto and fervor of Mongolian warriors about to ransack a village. These two new lovers will paint the town red, show affection and attention that will make their friends green with envy, and begin visualizing their together forever journey. When everything seems stable, like Mount Vesuvius after ravaging the ancient Roman city of Pompeii, one of them might enter the state of repose. Sounds familiar? It might be similar to the accurate description of probably 90% of the males on this planet once they are married or in a long-term relationship, but it's worse than that. The term may be new, but the tale is as old as time. Quiet quitting a relationship has been around for as long as relationships have been around, says London-based relationship and divorce coach, Natasha Matani. The term was actually popularized through a video by TikTok creator, Daniel Henschel. In it, he says, quiet quitting in a relationship, or quiet dumping, is when your partner chooses to only do the bare minimum required to date you without you breaking up with them. They've totally lost interest, but they don't want to be the one to break it off. They are showing up every day for you, but they're not really showing up. In her article in Oprah Daily, Dr. Lynn Saladino, a therapist in New York City, explained that quiet quitting in a relationship means the person stops to exert the energy, emotion, or investment that one normally puts into the relationship. Technically, they are still committed but have stopped trying to be more emotionally attached. So, let us say that you are trying to figure out whether you are in a relationship with a quiet quitter. Here are top 3 signs. Number 1, when intimacy is sporadic or seems to fly out of the window. Did you ever recall all those times when your partner shows up with tiny surprises, a bunch of roses or chocolates, and plans your usual lunch or dinner every week? But now, they already have many excuses for forgetting your birthday and anniversary, and your dates turned into occasional Chinese takeouts. Number 2, your partner no longer communicates with you on a regular basis, and they do not even initiate a confrontation and rather avoid facing the issue head-on. When those long video calls and daily conversations turned into monosyllabic responses, and the only conversation you can hear is either, "I'm tired," followed by a snoring musical where you spend all night listening to your partner do a Beethoven Symphony No. 5 in his sleep while you read a book about eat, pray, and love, then that is a sign. Lastly, and this is a lost cause I warn you, number 3, this is when your partner no longer includes you in the plan, now or in the future. It's really heartbreaking that someone who previously talks non-stop about how many children you will have or where you will buy your first home, does not even consider including you now in a weekend getaway nor Thanksgiving with family. It is as if the person you have known for so long and have looked forward to having your future with, have slowly faded in the midst of quietly quitting their relationship with you and out of your life. Before we judge and curse their descendants for eternity, let us try to understand where quiet quitting came from. Technically, if applied to a job, it originates from lack of motivation, burnout, discontentment, stress, and emotional or intellectual disengagement to the passion of the job. So let's apply this logic to the relationship of quiet quitters. Reasons for such might include lack of interest, newly discovered incompatibility, potential distrust, and they think that there's nothing to look forward to, the fire of passion simply burned out. So if they have stopped trying, why not just break up with their partner? Some tend to avoid difficult confrontations and decide to simply fade like a smoke after the bonfire. Another factor is there might be children, or in some cultures, family members, who will be deeply affected should the relationship end. They do not want to be blamed, so they will push you until you end both of your suffering. Some even felt fear of being left alone, so they will first try looking for someone to replace the companionship that you have offered prior breaking up with you. To sum it up, quiet quitters are just quite disinterested in going for an extra mile to prove their love, but they are still fulfilling the terms of their relationship in a very disengaging way. They might take you to dinner from time to time or might give gifts once in a blue moon, just to prove that there is still a sign of life and love. But to the other party, it is never enough. Partners of quiet quitters normally feel abandoned, lacking in self-esteem and distrustful. So hypothetically, if you think you are in the quiet quitter kind of relationship, what should be done? Communication is always the key. You owe it to yourself and your partner to talk things out. You have two scenarios here. First, if you and your partner seek to explore further solutions to your problems, then, make sure to put all the necessary efforts. You may have a weekly date, travel somewhere, spend weekends doing fun things together, or simply recall what makes you two fall in love in the first place and ignite that lost passion together. However, if you fall on the second scenario and it seems that it's a lost cause, then do the most logical, reasonable and humane decision: let go and be free. Talk things out first and separate in an agreeable manner, particularly if both of you have children to consider. It's difficult, yes, but it's like ripping a bandage on a fresh wound. Whether you rip it harshly or you rip it slowly, it will still expose the wound inside. And yes, that is the only time you will be forced to acknowledge that the wound really exists. As a final note, always remember to love and choose yourself first. Let go of those who don't want to be with you and do not bargain for your worth. You must accept that not all people you have met and fall in love with will be with you for eternity. Heal, rest, and be at peace, for that is the only way you can fix the broken pieces of yourself and be ready when love comes knocking again. Thanks for watching.